Today we have Mr. Dimitrov Krishnan, Managing Director of Volvo CE India, talking to B2B purchase.
So to start with, Excon is completing 25 years. How this event has, enhanced the infrastructure capabilities for industry?
So it's a very great question. Excon started in the year 2000, and I was in that show. Again, I was saying it's still in Volvo. I was just 1 year into Volvo that year when Excon started, and it started in a different venue. And it started in the palace grounds around the Bangalore Palace, which was the venue at that time. A much smaller show, maybe 1/10 of what it is today, to what it is today, which is 300,000 square meters of space, which globally, it is probably the third or fourth largest show. I actually checked yesterday the data. Bauma Munich is the world's largest show at 614,000. The second largest show is actually Bauma China, which is 360 or something like that. And the third largest is actually Excon at 300,000. ConExpo in the US is only 269,000 square meters. So from that perspective, Excon has really come of age, has really become big. It's truly global, truly multinational. And in that sense, attracts the world's best companies, and most of them are in India. And also, given the infrastructure focus and the growth potential of India as an economy, there is a lot of people who are wanting to come and be part of this journey in the next 10 years. So I think Excon is come of age. It's become a great show. The Veni Bangalore International Exhibition Center has also matured with the great connectivity, metro connectivity, a lot of the traffic challenges and the incoming, exiting challenges are also managed far better. Yes, today I was actually in the metro that just reached about half an hour ago, and it was jam-packed. And it shows that the interest in the show and, and the fact that this infrastructure that has come up from Bangalore Metro is really helping in the show to go to the next level. And I'm sure it will continue to grow, and it has its relevance, and in the next 10 years it will become even bigger and better. So yes, and it's showcasing probably all kinds of technologies from electric to semi-autonomous to, latest in fuel technologies, as well as, different types of new products also, right?
Then you look at the number of enterprises who engaged in primary OEM business as well as the auxiliary businesses has exponentially grown in this field, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So today, 1,700 odd exhibitors is the largest ever for Excon. So many country pavilions, it's a full ecosystem of the construction equipment industry. Our user industries are visiting actively. So many of the other federations like Construction Federation of India, Builders Association, they are all associated with it. So on the user side also a very good network is there. So we're very proud of this. 𝒔𝒕𝒉, as which Volvo CE is also part of, is the co-organizer along with CII. And so as an industry, it's reflecting the potential of India and what all India has to offer to Indian customers, but also for globe.
Volvo CE has been strengthening its Build for Bharat positioning. And can you please begin by outlining the key initiatives under this strategy? Especially, you have created India-specific missions.
Yeah. So, very, very valid point. Last year, we launched our first Made for Bharat EC220E product in June last year. And year and a half down the line, I can say it has been the best decision. It is also proven itself very well. Our market share is up quite dramatically, and while the market has been slower, we have grown volumes because of that product. And customers have accepted it. They have received a lot of great value because fuel efficiency is our core competence as Volvo, and we have delivered on better than what most people expected. And I'm sure it is changing the industry. Today in Excon 2025, we have launched the 215, which is the next variant of that same base machine, with a long crawler, slightly heavier undercarriage structure, as well as larger buckets. So customers who are in more demanding applications, we can use EC215 as well. We are, of course, also had the EC220, which has been going strong as well. So overall, for Volvo, it has been a great move, and we do continue to do well. We've also, in the last Excon, launched we had an all-electric, the first time ever for any brand, an all-electric display. And that has also done great for the industry. It has proven that electric has a future in India. We have seen a lot of brands showcasing electric solutions. We continue to showcase the Volvo branded electric solutions today. And in the last 2 years, we've also seen a lot of machine deliveries, which have happened on the electric side, both selling of these machines, but also, the equipment as a service that we have deployed. So, great show. I think the trend in India is going to remain India-centric solutions, how brands can solve Indian customer needs in unique ways and give a great value for them, which is very uniquely from an Indian perspective. So we will continue that strategy. We will continue to be very focused on designing for India. We have just decided to expand our R&D center. We call it the Bangalore Technology Center, and it will solve most of the challenges that is for Indian customers, but also for the global market. So we will see a much bigger action from Volvo in India, for India as well as for the world.
When we talk about the fuel aspect, you said beyond alternative fuels, how is Volvo advancing a broader agenda of sustainable construction, especially for Indian domain?
Yeah, so of course our core and core competence has been fuel efficiency. So over the last 27 years that we have been here, we've already done a lot from that perspective by reducing the carbon footprint of products that are operating, delivering more cubic meter per liter of fuel burned. So that is one aspect of we continue to drive the frontiers of it. And I think given that we've had high performance machines in all applications doing that, many of our competitors have also followed and also tried to be. So in that sense, there's always this collateral effect of a brand trying to drive fuel efficiency in the larger industrial perspective. We were also the first ones to launch the electric products in India in 2022 January, when we showcased our first electric products in Delhi in a different show. But that has definitely also shown the industry a new path, and today electrification is definitely a clear trend. We see in wheel loaders, the market is already 15-17% electric. In hauling, we are seeing a lot of electric trends. Excavators also, at least early trend is visible. So I think the future will be there. In addition, there is also a lot of work going on the alternative fuel space. So government has been, Minister Gadkari has been talking to us as an industry about using isobutanol as a fuel additive into diesel to reduce, move towards biofuels. Isobutanol is available in the country because it can be manufactured from ethanol. So we are now testing engines using 10% isobutanol together with ARAI. We have started a project, and over the next 6 months, I'm sure that study will reveal some way how to further reduce the impact on in the environment. So we continue to work on these aspects in delivering newer technologies. And then of course energy efficiency is one thing which we continue to work on. Without working on the engine, we can always work on other things. Like in the EC220 when we launched last year, we used positive control systems, and positive control systems are more responsive hydraulics, which means that they reduce wastage of energy, and that is again delivered as a fuel efficiency. So those are some of the things that we are doing, and we'll continue to drive that.
Talking about the sustainability again, whatever you pointed out, that project comes out with the final product, but you are also engaged with a lot of vendors and other stakeholders. How do you make sure that they get aligned with your sustainability goals? So sustainable development goals is not only about emissions; it's also about other things. Right? To bring more women into our industry, so in our user industry. So this is a group of women operators that we have trained for one of our customers in Odisha for mining operation, and so we are trying to influence the industry as bring new trends that will actually surely move the needle in a bigger perspective. These kind of initiatives in Excon this time we also have a diversity task force. I am leading that, and we have decided to recognize those companies that are actively involved in it. And it's a very great thing to see that many companies are showcasing their work in the area of diversity in this Excon. In addition to sustainability, skilling is another area where we focus a lot. We believe every organization, OEM that is in India
Of course, he is here to do business and create business, but he's also here to change the country, to build the country and build talent and build skills for people that will actually serve our industry and country in future. So in that sense, our efforts in skilling has been quite long term. I was leading the skilling council of the industry until last month, and I can say that we made a definitely big impact. Volvo is very actively involved in driving the skilling ecosystem of our industry, and that's something we encourage more and more manufacturers to do. So those are two other examples in addition to driving new technologies when it comes to sustainable development.
You also mentioned about the alternative fuel, which actually as a trend picking up in the industry. Volvo being a global player, you have exposure to various other markets here. How do you see that this trend or this evolution towards alternative fuel is getting unfolded?
Today it's very difficult to say what is the future fuel, one fuel, because there's multiple technologies being tested and being tried to see, right? When we move away from fossil fuels, one alternative is biofuels, which is biodiesel and in similar, right? So the isobutanol discussion that we had just a short while ago is in that direction where you can replace fossil fuel with a biofuel. The other is actually improving the, there's a lot of gas available, which is of course a fossil fuel, but it is not really used so much, and it's much better in, from an emissions perspective. So CNG and LNG is also being tested. The challenge with CNG and LNG for non-automotive applications like in construction equipment is the challenge of vibrations, which it's not able to handle. So it's still early days to see whether CNG, LNG will take off in a big way in our industry. But the future fuel, in our opinion, is hydrogen, right? Hydrogen has two ways we can use it. One is the fuel cell technology, which is quite complex for mobile products. While prototypes have been tested and are also under test regularly, both in the automotive and our industry, it is yet to find real application. Today, in fact, today's newspaper has a big advertisement of Varanasi, their first boat powered by hydrogen fuel cell being released. It's an interesting thing, but the fuel cell has a challenge that we need very high purity of hydrogen there. But what will actually work more actively, in our opinion, is hydrogen ICE, which means that using hydrogen as a fuel in the diesel engine based concept, right? The combustion efficiency is lower, but it still is more practical given the ecosystem that is there. And the purity level required for hydrogen is lesser. So we believe hydrogen ICE will definitely start to take off. Maybe in 3 years' time, you will see more hydrogen powered machines coming to market. And so that's something which is happening. And then also in the industry, there's the effort to bring more and more fuel efficiency, more and more emission reduction, which using new stage 5 norms. So we expecting that the government will implement off-highway emission norms in the next 2-3 years, which will further improve it. So these are areas where we are very actively supporting the industry association and also the government.
23 and 24 were excellent years for CE business, especially in number of units if you look at in India. How it was for Volvo CE?
So 24 was very good because we launched a new product and we had a growth of volume because of that. 25 is even more interesting, and it's a year where the industry has slowed down because it's the road projects are not really in the best of shape, and in terms of progress it's slower. In fact, mining was also slower beginning of the year. It has picked up slightly in the second half of the year. For us, 25, despite market being very slow, has been very strong year for us because with the full impact coming of the new 20-ton excavator, we are seeing customers, a lot of new customers willing to buy Volvo. We positioned our brand accordingly. We have positioned the products according to delivering the right values for the end customer. So 25 we are growing while the market is shrinking, and we expect 26 to be even more stronger coming from that perspective. Very difficult to call the market situation for next year given a lot of uncertainties around, but we are hopeful and we are bullish about prospects in India.
At one point we even aimed at 100 kilometers per day about billing, and for a little bit of slowdown like what you mentioned, what must be the main reasons behind?
It's very difficult for me to answer reasons exactly, but what I can say is like this: road construction has seen a very good pace over the last 10 years. We reached a peak of about 37 kilometers per day in 2023, but 24 was an election year. Typically, decision making slows down in an election year. Despite that, the demand in the industry was reasonably good. It did grow. It did remain same level as 23. But 25 has been very challenging. You know, we are seeing decline, and we are seeing a lot of road projects are struggling to take off. The bidding has been very, very competitive, very low pricing. All of this is also impacting. And I would say that three factors that are impacting the economy. One being the tariff thing, which started early in February, March, when Mr. Trump decided to go with that, and that has definitely taken a lot of attention of the central government to try and deal with that impact. Subsequently, the Pahalgam attack, and then the Operation Sindoor, which also took away a very large focus of the government towards trying to protect the country. You know, you got to prioritize. And these two have definitely seen. And the third, of course, the longer term impact of tariffs started to be felt, and government needed to take very clear measures to spur the domestic economy. So they went ahead with the GST reforms, GST 2.0 reforms, which were anyway being prepared, but that was also rolled out in September. These are big things. You know, when you have such big events, three big events happening within the same year, that costs a lot of time, energy, and I think we've seen that has definitely not brought focus to infrastructure growth. Infrastructure is happening, but infrastructure growth is not happening. So I hope that the government can, with these things behind us, more or less we are trying to manage the impact of tariffs. There's a lot of other discussions ongoing. Now we should bring that focus to infrastructure. I think government needs to speed up tendering of roads, other infrastructure projects. They need to clear the bottlenecks of financing and give a new boost to the infrastructure development. Given we have a developed nation goal by 2047, we need to build our infrastructure at least by 2038, 2040. Next 10 years are extremely crucial for the India country. We have to speed up, and we have to not just speed up, we have to improve quality. First is quantity. How much roads do we need? We laid them. But then next stage is also quantity and quality. You still need to increase a lot of roads. How can we increase the quality of roads and quality of infrastructure in the coming 10 years? So these two focus, twin focus, if the government brings it, there is no stopping demand in India. There's potential is there. That's why you see the show is so big. So we just need to bring this attention of the government. There's a lot of discussion in the association world to bring these topics to the government, and I'm sure they will be listening, as they have been listening to the industry.
So these trade disruptions are definitely going to
impact to the entire industry, Indian industry. So obviously it will impact us also. Many of our exports to US are impacted by that. So when I say our, I mean CE industry. We did not have much exports to US from Volvo, but many other players in India were doing it, and they are definitely impacted. That doesn't mean they are fully impacted, because there are many others who are there to buy Indian goods, so they are going there. So, but definitely it has an impact.
The last question before we conclude is, what is new expected from Volvo expansion, so we don't just plant an ECU?
So what we will continue to see from Volvo is India-centric solutions for India. This is as simple message I can give. We are focused on building products that solve Indian customer needs. We are focused on where we can add maximum value, and we will continue to drive our agenda of sustainability and sustainable development, and also bring solutions that really make a difference. Yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting us.